Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on his own Billy Nelson.
Hey, mate. Right.
Good to see you, mate. How's things?
Good, just busy.
Yeah, I see you on the red carpet. Obviously flew to England for that, then I guess back to Scotland and to Belfast today for the press conference. No rest for the wicked, as they say.
That's what they say. I must have done something bad in my last life. I must have. I can't think what it would have been, but I must have done something.
I've got some ideas. Right, Lewis Crocker. This link up between you two, I mean, even he said to me just then, he said he puts a lot of his success down to you because of how stale his career was feeling at one point. Even in the last year, the last 30 months, so we can take the Tyrone McKenna fight, McKenna, Felix, Walker. It's been entertaining, it's been impressive. You two and him just seem to be a match made in heaven.
Well, it's been successful so far, but really we've achieved nothing until we get fighting for these world titles, and this fight on the 1st of March is the last step towards that world title fight. But Lewis is downplaying it a wee bit. He's a very, very talented boy, and he was very talented before he came to me. And we've just worked on a few things, and wee tweaks here and wee tweaks there. He's a multi-talented fighter. The power he's got, as I've stated before many times, pound for pound, he's the hardest puncher I've held the pads for in my life.
Is there like this is going to sound stupid, is there like a feeling you get because you've had Martin BAKOLE on the pads, is there like a feeling, what is it that when you're holding the pads that, I don't know, something that reverberates through your shoulders? Like how do you assess that Lewis power when you're holding those pads?
Crocker sends shudders through your arms and shoulders. Yeah. It hit me in the elbow the other day, and that night, during the night, I've leant on my arm to turn over, and the pain that went on my arm was as tender as anything. But it's just the way it is, isn't it? But he's a super talented fighter. All fighters have got different traits and different things that they excel in. Lewis is a very, very, very good boxer. See, if you took away his power, he'd still win many titles with just his boxing skill. Very talented, but that power's the equaliser.
Yeah. I mean, we had quite an honest chat when he was sitting in that chair a minute ago, and he said when he come to you, he was in quite a depressive state as well. He just felt quite down about his career trajectory, and that even mentally now there's just like a lift inside him, and he walks around with a different confidence, not even an ego, but a confidence. Have you seen that kind of mental growth of Lewis since you two started working together?
Very much so. We speak a lot, but we've got a relationship where it's not just the coach says it, we'll do it. I'll ask for his advice, he'll ask for my advice, we'll come to a compromise. It's a great relationship. He's enjoying his time over in Scotland. He's well looked after. I think that's a very, very important thing for him. He's very well looked after, from his food to his physio, his accommodation. I mean, he's well looked after, and he's in a happy place. And they're all saying a happy boxer's a dangerous boxer.
Does his accent get a little bit stronger though when he touches down in Belfast?
It must do, because I couldn't understand him when he was in it.
Him and Jamie Conlon talking another language.
Oh, very, very quick, aren't they? Very quick. I thought Scots so quick, but they're very, very quick.
Right, this fight with Paddy Donovan, I guess the storyline not starts with the Conor Walker fight, but Paddy was ringside. Brilliant fight with Conor Walker. I think at one point Paddy said he had him 4 or 5 rounds down. I know there was a little bit of talk online as well. That didn't materialise. I know you were very open, and Lewis was very open about jumping in with Josh Kelly. Talk to me about from the Conor Walker fight to the signing of the Paddy Donovan fight. What went on in between? What was offered? What talks were had? And how we ended up with this brilliant fight?
Well, as far as I know, Paddy's refused the fight a couple of times for whatever reason. You'd need to ask him. But after the Walker fight, I thought we'd be fighting somebody else, to be perfectly honest, because Paddy's not fought anybody in the top 30, and I didn't realise he had such a high ranking. But it's a great fight for this island. I mean, it's going to be a monster fight on the 1st of March. But Paddy, emphasising, I can't emphasise it enough, he's not fought anybody in the top 30, a proper, fully fledged welterweight. He's going to be fighting one of the strongest welterweights there is. I'm certainly one of the hardest punchers in the world at 147. So he's going to be in for a rude awakening.
Do you think this is career mismanagement? Almost like when you talk about fighters having gut checks, I know it's a bit of a cliche saying, Paddy's yet to have perhaps that kind of gut check.
Paddy's not fought anybody remotely as good as Lewis Crocker. I think that's a fair comment to make, and that's not being disrespectful to Paddy. I think you just look at his resume, it tells you that.
Do you like his boxing ability? Do you rate his boxing ability and what lies behind those gloves?
He's a very good fighter. I think he's a mini-me of Andy Lee. You go and watch Andy Lee, and you didn't have the commentary on. You see Paddy Donovan.
They were just a silhouette. You'd see the movement similarities.
A wee mini-me.
Yeah. Was you pitting yourself up against Andy Lee? I like it. Andy, a legend. You, one of the best trainers in Scotland, Britain, in the world. I don't know how well you and Andy Lee get on, if you know each other, if you're friends.
In particular, listen,
it's going to be a good battle. It's going to be a fun battle.
I've been in fights with Virgil Hunter and won the fight. Been in a fight with Sugar Hill, won the fight. It's not about Billy Nelson and Andy Lee. It's about Paddy Donovan and Lewis Crocker. Me and Andy will shake hands before. We'll shake hands today. We'll shake hands when the bell gets, when the winner gets announced on the 1st of March. Me and Andy get on great. Because we've been involved previously with Joe Parker and Martin, obviously sparring down in Morecambe.
Yeah. Will there be bad blood between Lewis and Paddy?
I've no idea. I've really no idea. I don't know.
I think maybe. Do you think people are expecting it just because it's a fight of the Irish Isles? That, you know, I know they don't have any history dating back or haven't shared tons of rounds together or this and that, but I feel like people are perhaps presuming that there's going to be this Irish rivalry, and we might get a little bit of needle up on the stage today.
If there is, there is. It'll not affect how we're going to box on the night. Nothing will detract us for our game plan.
I know you're not going to give me that game plan, but stylistically, what do you think the fans can expect from the fight?
A career best performance for Lewis Crocker. And it will be a career best performance.
Are you allowed, or is Lewis allowed, to think about the fact it's an IBF World Title eliminator?
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, there's no getting away with it. It's a final eliminator, it's not just an eliminator.
Yeah, final eliminator, yeah.
You know, your next fight's a world title. Everybody's dreams and aspirations. Both those boys' dreams and aspirations are on the line on the 1st of March. So the best man will win. Yeah. And that'll be Lewis Crocker.
Can't wait. Such a good fight. Can't wait to get back to Belfast in March. Right, Martin BAKOLE, like I said, I saw you on the red carpet, spoke briefly. Are we any nearer? I know it was only a couple of days ago. Are we any nearer to this FA Jagba date, or crossing the T's, dotting the I's?
It's done. It's done.
Yeah.
But
announcement soon?
Well, it should be.
Yeah. Riyadh season?
I'm not sure if it's Riyadh season or the Ring magazine.
Okay.
As long as we've got the date and there's a boxing ring there, that's all we're real interested in.
Yeah. I know Joshua's got Nigerian heritage, and again, this is something I said to Martin. He was in Nigeria recently. Do you kind of expect that when asked the question, he was probably going to say FA would beat Martin?
Of course, because it was completely different on Saturday night. You know, he never. You know, Joshua's a nicer guy you can meet. But I mentioned this fight to him 4 years ago when we used to go and spar him. Say, come and fight Martin BAKOLE in Kinshasa, in Congo. The anniversary of Foreman against Muhammad Ali. I mean, people don't realise the enormity of that fight in Africa. It will be absolutely phenomenal. And me personally, I know Martin BAKOLE, people say that he's not commercially big enough, but see if he fought Anthony Joshua in Congo, it'd be huge, absolutely massive. And I believe between all the fights that are available for, well, see, AJ and Parker, Eddie mentioned that he wants to fight to win it. He can't, because when Martin beats a Jagba, he must be next for IBF. So, well,
and they're stringent on IBF, are very stringent.
We've already been told you're fighting the winner, unless they fight Usyk, of course, but then we'll still be next in line. But the only way, I mean, if Daniel, just for talking sake, Daniel Dubois beats Parker, he ain't not going to fight Usyk for the unified world title to jump in the ring with Anthony Joshua, is he? So the best alternative and the most commercial alternative is Martin BAKOLE in Kinshasa, because the Congolese government will help fund that enormously.
This whole thing about being commercial, and I've heard many...
A lot of shite in it.
I've heard many people say it, that for the risk that there is in Martin BAKOLE, you don't get the commercial value. How is a fighter supposed to build said commercial value if he isn't allowed or isn't being involved in said fights. The Jared Anderson fight pushed Martin to that American audience, definitely done good for his image and growth. But if you're not allowed or not getting these fights, where's your commercial value meant to go?
See, my argument to that now is, now Turkey Al Sheikh has basically took over the elite boxing shows. He pays or his company or him, whoever it is that pays for these fights. It's not like back before the Saudi Arabian involvement. It was Matchroom or Boxer or Queensbury. They had to look after their interests, because they were funding the full fight for both fighters. The Saudis and the Congolese government would be doing that if they went to Africa. It'd be enormous. I mean, I honestly believe, I know for a fact that Josh would get more money for fighting Martin BAKOLE in Congo than what he got for fighting Daniel Dubois at Wembley.
What's it like out in Congo? I mean, I know I've seen videos. Obviously, Martin gets like a king's reception.
50,000 people along the sidewalks welcoming him back to the airport. It was a 25-minute journey on a car. Took us 2.25 hours. It was mad, absolutely mad, but a fantastic time. They looked after us well, and he's adored over there. They say he's the second most popular person in Congo behind the president.
Yeah. I'm all for it. I'm all for a trip to Kinshasa. I've got to ask you, I know what you're going to tell me. How would a fight between Martin and AJ play out?
I think Martin would stop him now. I think it would have been a very, very close fight 3-4 years ago. 3 years ago, 2 years ago. No now. And that's no showing any disrespect to Anthony Joshua, who has been a legend. We wouldn't be talking about Riyadh season if it wasn't for Anthony Joshua and what he's brought to British boxing. That's a simple fact.
Absolutely. Final one from me. Tyson Fury announced his retirement for maybe the 5th or 6th time. I just want to know if you're kind of on the cynic side of, this is a negotiation ploy, or whether you saw a bit of sincerity in the message from Tyson, and perhaps off the back of 2 defeats for the first time, you believe that this might be the end.
Well, listen, the man's done magnificently well in his career. He's earned a lot of money. See if he was never to fight again, and I hope he doesn't fight again, because I do. I personally hope he doesn't fight again, and he can spend all the quality time in the world with his family, and treat his family the way he does. He's a fantastic father. I know fine well he is. And I hope he retires as enjoys the retirement for the rest of his life.